I'm gonna do the meditation, Mike. So here we gonna make it. How we gonna make it easy? Observe your micro habits, and it's
Now,
through your
here we
micro habits. Through your micro habits, you'll be able to make the change. All right, welcome to Mike. It's been a while, Keron. How has things been on your end? I've been touching base with a lot of people who was on Mike, and you were one of the first. How have things been on your end?
Yo, Mike, I've been good, man. I can't complain. How about you?
I'm all right. I mean, considering everything, I mean, we're alive. The pandemic,
Facts, we survived.
we survived, and as things open back up, we want to be able to create that space for us here,
We
especially on
thriving.
Mike.
We thriving.
We thriving. All right, that's good to hear. What? So I reached out to you, Keron, because over the past week, I saw that you were at a graduation ceremony. I
Right.
thought it was very interesting that you're going to try to inspire the youths from a digital marketing and digital perspective. What happened at the graduation ceremony?
So I was over at Bishop Anstey and Trinity College East as their featured speaker for the night. And honestly, I had gone there with an idea as to what I wanted to speak to them about, right? And when I reached and I started to talk to the dean, I talked to the Form 6 teacher, and I spoke to the valedictorian and a couple of the other students as well. Everybody kind of expressed that there's an anxiety in the air. People are worried about, what the next step is, what's going to happen. Now, usually, when you're talking to 17, 18-year-olds, of course, there's going to be that anxiety as to what happens next, right? But this year is different because these 17 and 18-year-olds, while they're learning all the skills in school, their parents are going through changes that the parents have never seen before. A lot of these people are, their parents are going through a lot of the retrenchment process. So they're seeing all of these things in the home. They're seeing all these things in the media. So there's a lot of anxiety with what that next step is, because the people that they look towards, they look like they're struggling too, or they look like they're not too sure as to what is happening as well. So that changed my entire speech that night. And I really just wanted to focus on, I spoke just a little bit about my journey, because I felt like I needed to, just to kind of solidify, who I was, yes, and why I'm here. But it really wasn't about me. And I just wanted to kind of impress upon them that, we're in the midst of a major, major change, a change that your parents, a lot of the teachers, a lot of us have never seen before. And the things that you are going to have to do to land yourself into the job market, or what you might take in university, or how you might separate yourself in the market, all of those things are changed. All of those things have changed. And where you need to be right now is in a space to understand that your learning, the bulk of your learning, is not going to happen in school. It's going to happen way outside of school. Mm. And you also need to have that mindset that the learning isn't going to stop, because so much of the problems that we face today is the people before us, the people in positions of power, the people that are, in decision-making positions. A lot of the people that we know got to a level of education and stopped learning. And now that the world has changed so fast, we're so unprepared because we don't have people with the skill sets to transition into where we need to go, which is a big part of the reason why people want to hold on to because they're not prepared to make this switch. They don't have the skills. They stopped educating themselves. They got their masters, they got their PhDs, they got to their good job, but maybe their job is no longer needed. Mm-hmm. Or maybe there's an evolution of their job, but that evolution is going to require a new mindset and new skills. And they've stopped learning to be able to make that transition. So my message was really simple. The things that you're going to need to learn are change. You need to have a different mindset where it's going to be constant learning. And technology, social media, these platforms are no longer just tools to have fun. If you take these things seriously, you can get yourself more educated by following the right people, get yourself inspired, but also network and meet the right people that can put you years ahead at a young age. And if you guys are serious about getting into your careers, just having a resume and submitting is no longer going to be enough. You are going to have to learn how to network. And it's a lot easier to do that now because we have platforms like a LinkedIn. So I stressed on LinkedIn and the importance of that platform. Start to document your journey. Show people what you guys are studying, what you guys are doing right now. And then when you're reaching out to people who are in the career fields that you want to be in, reach out to them. And when they're looking at your profiles and they're seeing, oh, wow, this person's documenting their journey, they're serious about what they're doing, you're going to find people who are willing to go over and above to help you out and give you the information that you need. And if something comes up, they will reach out and touch base with you. So that was primarily, my talk with the class. Networking, things are differently, and just have a different mindset. That learning, again, is not just going to happen in school. The majority of the learning is going to happen outside of it. Be prepared, leverage the tools that we have because we never had them growing up. A lot of these things are new for us that have only been popular for the last 10 years or less, right? But you guys have a head start at a much younger age.
I like what you're saying. Definitely, I like talking to you, Keron, because every time I talk to you, I realize that I like that fire on my ass. I mean, this is Mikeonthemictt. We keep it real here on Mikeonthemictt. And we had a conversation informally, and maybe we can share it with my audience about this idea of changing your mindset from exploitation to leverage. So you might, like myself, you might be in a job that you have more value to bring to the table. You have value. And as you rightly say, seek digital tools, seek constant learning. You have to be in a mindset of constantly learning. Otherwise, you're going to be phased out. Let's be real. Yeah. The world is going in a particular direction. Trinidad has to go in a particular direction, which is embracing digital. How important it is to keep that mindset of understanding, all right, you may be thinking exploitation, but going from exploitation to leverage in order for you to level up.
When you make that change, your entire energy, your body changes at a cellular level. You feel like an entire weight is shifted off of your shoulders, because the minute when we were talking and we were talking about exploitation versus leverage, and you made a statement and you said exploitation, and I'm like, no, we need to fix that. Look at it as leveraging, and this is why. By the end of the conversation, I was just hearing in your tone where you're like, this just makes so much sense, and you're thinking about it differently now, right?
Yeah.
And if you can figure out, and one thing that there's Gary Vaynerchuk always talks about this, right?
Gary V,
Gary V always talks about
it. Right?
Gary V says that, if you are trying to break into your field, then you need to find a job that pays you the most, but that lets you do the least. And he doesn't mean do the least from, you just not doing your work, but take a job that pays you less money, that gives you less work, that you can now invest more time into learning and building yourself up to get into the field that you want. Because if you are in a field that is working you to the bone and you don't feel like you're getting paid enough and you feel like you're being exploited, you need to start thinking to yourself, okay, what else besides the money could I leverage while being here? Am I in a position where this company is a great company and there's great connections that I could make connections with? Are they able to put me in situations and scenarios that could benefit me? So in our example, you might have access to people who you might not have ever had access to, but you have access to them because of where you work.
A press conference.
Yeah.
Going to a press conference. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's leverage. Leverage. And then you have to get good at, okay, so if we're here for leverage as well, what else can I get? And how can I be strategic? Because you're there for a small time. And if you can extract the other things, if you can make the right connections, get the right experience, put yourself in other situations, that could help you with the next level of your journey. And so, but when you are thinking exploitation, you're thinking that this is happening to me. You're not thinking about anything else other than the people are wicked, the job is too wicked, they're not paying me enough. I do so much. You're busy thinking about being oppressed. You're busy thinking about being a victim. But when you start thinking about leverage, you start thinking about, okay, you know what? The company's doing that, cool, no problem. But here's what I can get out of this. And you start thinking opportunities and what other opportunities you can get for yourself to help you in your next stage of your journey.
And Mike meditating during the pandemic, and the simple way of what you were just saying, is it happening to me or happening for me?
There we go. That's exactly it.
Keron, is there anything else you'd like to add to the audience?
Yo, right now, we are in the best time to make a drastic change. We don't have to wait to go to a tertiary school to go learn. You don't have to wait to get a degree. You don't have to wait to do these things. Right now, you can do something as simple as this. Jump on Google, type in high income skills, look at the laundry list of new career fields, new skill sets that are making money, and start to go down the rabbit hole and research and chart your path. You don't have to wait anymore. So it's time to do things differently, think differently, network differently, and we're going to be okay. But this is a great time to be in right now once you see it that way.
Keron, thank you for coming on to Mikeonthemictt. It's definitely been a great conversation. I want to keep it short because, with the pandemic, attention spans have shortened. But if it is that you find the content has been enriching, you could follow Keron. Keron, where the audience could come and look for your content?
Man, they could Google me, Keron Rose, or find me on any social media platform at Keron Rose. It's the same on any platform.
And Mike, this is our final question, right?
Yeah.
What's the most important thing to change your mindset, to embrace change instead of fearing change right now in Trinidad?
You know what? I think everybody changes at their own time. And I think one of the biggest things is that people have to hit that come to Jesus moment for them to start to think differently. So think about, when do people decide they want to lose weight? They usually decide when they get a health scare or their diagnosis. Something happens that makes them start to think differently, right? So when it comes to change, I feel like, people need to be aware of these little signals and pick up on those things, because something could be happening and you could keep on ignoring it. If you keep on ignoring that your clothes not fitting, and then next thing you go to a doctor visit and you ignore the advice, pay attention to what is happening around you. There are signals everywhere that you need to change. You being in a job and not feeling like you're moving forward, or you not liking, you not having a passion for what you do anymore. There are signals in everything that we do that could be a signal for change. And we just have to pay attention and be self-aware enough, or learn how to be self-aware, or learn how to grow our self-awareness in order to pick up on those things. So that was a bit long-winded, but I'm going
to do the meditation, Mike. So how are we going to make it easy? Observe your micro habits. And it's through your micro habits. Through your micro habits, you'll be able to make a change. Thank you, Keron. Thank you for coming on here on Mikeonthemictt. I definitely will be bringing you back, because these little nuggets are so important. And as I say, using man who like to fire and them ask to say, hey, Mike, I can order. You have content, you have talent. Now it's time to commercialize what you're doing. Thank you, Keron.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Mike.
Take care, man.